morning, everybody. 8:15, just turned 8:16. August 10th, big day today. CPI. CPI today. All right. Expected to get a tick up. Point 0.3. That's the consensus. Yesterday was a little bit of a wild day. Went low, went up, went back down. Volatility, but much didn't happen. Much didn't change the picture of what's going on in the market. Okay. Without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez, using volume profile, market profile to get structure in this market, right? Not let price dictate your trades. Let structure dictate your trades. Supply and demand, gamma exposure, rolling month, rolling week, levels all come into my plans. Okay, of course, support and resistance. You can't go without those. That's what we do. That's what we do here. And welcome. Okay. And if you like what you're seeing, subscribe, set an alert. That would help me out a lot. Of course, you can always give me a big thumbs up. And you can always follow me on Twitter, and that would be at Gonzo719. All right. So we got that big news coming up, so we can go right into the watch list. Okay. Right into the watch list. Let's do that. Now these will change drastically when the number drops, but let's just see where we're at currently, right? Nasdaq's up 0.81, ES up 0.57, Russell's up 0.53, the silver's up 0.52, Dow's up 0.51, Bitcoin's up 0.37. 30-year bonds are being bought again. So 10-year yield should come down lower at 820. Gold is up 0.26. Dollar is getting sold a little bit. Ether's up a little bit. TNX will report at 820. Dollar is down 0.38. Crude is finally taking a little break, down 0.43. The VIX is down 2.26%. It's very interesting, right? Heading into this event. Some people saying CPI leaked, whatever. Moving on. Okay. We are going to the stocks I like to day trade, right? And what do we got? There's my Baba. Baba crushed earnings. It is up 3.22%. It made it up almost to 100. It's kind of leveling off now. So got my eye on that. Obviously, it's an investment, so that's good news for Baba. But even though there's a lot of things going headwinds for China, hopefully this stock can catch some fire. Microsoft up 0.96. Google's up 0.85. Okay, followed by Snow 0.82. Amazon 0.81. Amazon got an upgrade today. Okay, so let's go down to the laggards. Is there a laggard? Yes, there is. Nvidia got smoked yesterday. Okay, got really crushed. So 440 was a huge negative gamma level that got crushed. Okay, coin didn't have the best day yesterday, but you need to hold 85, above 85. Okay, moving on. Top sector stocks. Roblox got crushed with earnings, but then got an upgrade. Okay, got smoked. Now got an upgrade. Disney earnings, they missed some revenues, but they're cutting costs. They're raising their subscription price, eliminating password sharing, stuff like that. So they are up 1 point. That's a very beaten down stock. There's value, but it's not easy. The SAG strike, all this stuff. Qualcomm is up 1.22%. Okay. J&J, they just got a new drug, I believe, for some kind of cancer drug in blood or something like that. You'll see it later. That they just got approved for. So that is nice. That's one of my investments as well. Let's see, Costco. Okay, let's go down. Is there any laggard? Walmart. It's the only laggard, which has been on a tear, which is also a part of my portfolio, but it's been on a ripping, roaring tear. So that is the top sectors. Okay, let's look at that 10-year yield. There it is. Let's just go back up so I can show you guys that 10-year yield finally is under 4.0. Okay, I'm not sure if that could sustain it, but if it starts to drop, okay, bonds should go higher. Okay, um, let's go over to sectors. Sorry, sectors. Technology. Got your Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, right? Up 0.67. Well, Nvidia obviously is negative, but that's just what's in that basket. Communications. You got your Googles, Meta, Netflix. Okay, and then semis. Obviously, you know what semis are. Nvidia, AMD, discretionary. So, do we have a lagger? No. Everything's up right now. Now, since the CPI is expected to tick up, right? It's not like going to be surprise tick up. It's just a matter of how hot does it get, and gas has gone up, oil's been on a tear, so that is definitely going to add to this month's CPI and next month's CPI. Okay, that's you can't deny that. Um, However, core is doesn't include oil, energy. It doesn't include it. Doesn't include food or energy. So that only gets risen by, I believe, shelter and stuff like that. Food. I'm sorry, excludes food and energy. Okay, so that is the look of the that was the watch list. That's interesting. One sec, guys. I just want to see something here. That's interesting. I must have deleted that somehow. Or did I? That's weird. I don't know how that happened. Sorry, guys. Oh, I know what happened. Sorry about that, everybody. Now moving on. We can get right into the daily charts. Talk about them very quickly, and the new format that I'm using, just so we don't have to go over each chart. And then we'll get right into the news. So real quickly, we'll go into what SPY did. Remember, orange are last week's lows, whites are the months. That's really it. Okay. So what did we do yesterday? Look, we did. We broke the previous day's lows, right? But we had a very bearish close. See, we closed at the lows underneath these weeklies, right? Now, where are we now? 448.38. 448.38. So we are in the top part of yesterday's range, right? Waiting for this big number to come out. So pretty much in the middle of this range. So it's waiting, definitely just really waiting for this market. Okay, let's look at the Qs. So the Qs finally hit that a lot more bearish, right? Closed underneath the 50-day moving average. So it hit the 50-day moving average, all right? But what the Q's doing now? Q's are at 370.65, so they are in the middle, almost in the middle of yesterday's range, still below last week's lows, okay? This is last month's lows, still not there, okay? So waiting for the information to pop, right? Waiting for this big news to come out. Let's move on to the Dow. Okay, Dow's has this support that's been holding, right? That's last week's lows. Last week's lows is holding. Okay, you can see this little range that's forming in the Dow. We did close below the 20 simple moving average though. Okay, keep in mind we're still within last month. Okay, still within last week. Russell. Russell's below the 20, below the 9 EMA on the daily. Made a move back, tried to get into last week's range, right? Tried to get in there, couldn't, right? So it came up, opened up basically at last week's lows, fell all the way down here and closed here. But what's the Russell now? 192.70, let's say 192.70. So right below that lows at the top of yesterday's range. Okay, at the top of yesterday's range. So here's the months. Last month we're right in the middle of last month, basically candle, right in the middle of last month's, below last week. Okay, here's the prior week's lows. We're below those. Okay, where are we at? Look at that. See these lows? This is a weekly low from a couple weeks ago. That would be what day is that? 7/27. So that's where we're at, really. All right, this news is going to drop. Okay, that wraps up the daily chart analysis. We can go back to market news. Okay, while we await the news drop. I don't even know if I just did that, but I'm going to do it again. Okay, so let's look at this, right? We have core inflation. Consensus is 4.8. Previous 4.8. That's core inflation year over year. So they're not expecting any move. Okay. Core inflation month over month, the same thing. They're not expecting any move. All right. But this is the number that everybody kind of looks at for the market. It's the headline inflation rate. So headline inflation year over year. Last time was 3. They're expecting a 0.3 tick up. So 0.3 tick up. If it goes more than that, very bad for the market. In line might not do much. In line still not good. Okay. And then we have the inflation rate month over month. They're not expecting anything. So the headline number here, you want to see if we go hotter than 3.3, like 3.6 or 4 or something, I don't know, like 3.6, the market's not going to like that. Okay. The market's not going to like that. That is coming up in 8 seconds now. And we also can look at all right, that dropped 3.2. So underneath the number. Let's see core. Core 0.2, just like it said. Core inflation ticked lower. Core beat. It's softer than they thought. It didn't go up as much as they thought. Month over month. So really, core went down. That was the Fed looks at. Right? So let's turn our attention to the 60-minute chart here on the futures. And you can see on this chart there's a channel that we've been living in. Okay, and we're hitting that top of that channel. That's been honored multiple times. So right now the numbers are better than what they thought. They thought it was ticking up zero point 0.3, it came in at 3.2. So zero point 0.1 under, and then core was supposed to be 4.8, it came at 4.7. So as far as I could see, this is either not going to do much or it's going to make the market move higher. So let's just see. I came right into a supply zone, right into that downtrend, and right into a supply zone, and also the 9 EMA dailies right there. Just looking at stocks, stocks are all moving higher. So now we have Google up 1.4, Snow 1.25, Microsoft up 1.25. Okay, so getting love. No negative sectors. Nvidia now is up 0.3. It was negative before. Coin getting just popped, big, pretty nice pop over 85. That's what you need. So right now for the market, right, we have this 9 EMA daily. We have supply here. We have this trend line here. If you notice, you got lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, right? You need to take out the supply, and then you can hit the 20 simple day moving average here, but this is also supply. Now this might not matter. Now see, you're getting some wick here. You just have to see. You have to see. Because again, it's not good that CPI went up because that's oil, right? It's not great for the market, but it came in less. So really you have to see here. It's going to be tricky. It's starting to get sold into a little bit, right? Because what's going to happen is oil is up at what just went up to like $84 a barrel. That's where it's at right now. Okay, $84 a barrel. It was like a 60 something earlier. This is going to compute into the next headline, CPI number 2. It's going to tick up again. Okay. So right now that channel is acting as resistance right there. And the most traded price of the week and yesterday's right here. See that? If we land here and do this, well then the market didn't do anything. We're in balance, right? So it's kind of stabilizing, right? Now, to show you guys this, yes, I have this as the most traded price, but watch when I do this profile right here. You're going to see where it is. See what I'm talking about? See all that volume? From here to here, right? All the volume is here, right at the most traded price of yesterday and the most traded price of the last week. So just a visual there is why that box is there. So this is the most traded price right here, right where we're at now. If the market stays around here, it didn't do anything today. This number meant nothing to the market today. Okay. And this is bearish, this structure. Lower highs, lower lows, right? To me, I don't know. If I'm thinking about the market, give me my opinion. I don't think this is super bearish, and I don't think it's bullish. Super bullish. I think it's kind of like, well, went up, but not as much as we thought. We also have initial jobless claims that came out. Let's see how that looked. So the consensus was 230. Initial jobless claims came out at 248. So that is what the Fed wants to see. So that's a little bullish. Continuing jobless claims. Consensus was 1710. It came under that. Okay. So, like I said, right now, the market is not doing much. Holding at this trend here in this big channel, this downward channel. Now, this is going to be a demand here. If this goes up here, this could be a demand zone right here. That's the scene of the crime, they call it. Some like to call it. But look what we're holding. Most traded price of the week. It's right there. It's amazing how that works all the time. Just like a magnet. And it's looking like a nothing burger right now. All right, let's get into volume profile, market profile. We can come back to this. Okay. You can see the relative volume here, right in the corner here. I can show you that. I'll just show you guys that. I mean, the relative volume is going to be good, obviously, because it's CPI. This is like comes in more into play like when the not a news event, but I'm just showing you what I see. It's 112, 111%. 100% would be normal volume over the last 20 days, but this is over. But that's expected for CPI. Looking at the futures, it's kind of a nothing burger. Yep, it's really not doing anything. So let's just go into the analysis from a market profile standpoint. Okay. This is how we find out our structure. And you can see right here. That's why these things are automatically on my chart, so it's great. Okay. Brown's profile. Okay. Most traded price. Where's price? Right here. This is nobody showing their hand right now. No edge at all. Look at the overnight profile. Balanced. That's today's most traded price right here. Price is right here. I mean, it's literally, you have no edge right now. All we know is we've been downtrending like I just showed you. Okay? That's bearish. So the market's, trying to digest this information to figure out if it's bullish or not, right? All right, so we have our big level here. All right, what's that level? 45.14. Most traded price of yesterday, most traded price of the last week. So really here we're coming into a demand. Now this demand I don't expect to hold because of this strong news. The market's now weakening up a little bit. But still, we're right inside. There's the midpoint of yesterday. I mean, we're right here. It's just not an area that you too much to see. All right, but what did we do yesterday? I left this gap on here to show you the exact move that the market stopped at was the gap fill. That's why this market went right there and then got bought. So that filled the gap. So what do? I get rid of that on my screen now. That's no longer a gap. That's been filled. Now we just hit demand. Curious if we get a pop. We are a little bit. Okay. Let's just get into like what happened yesterday. So we got a high yesterday, a low yesterday. So we made a new low, right? Couldn't sustain. Didn't quite hit the 50-day simple moving average in the futures, but then got bought up, right? All the way up to here, and then it rolled over and closed down here, right? Well, here we opened here, only had this little bit of short activity, had all this long activity. Well, guess what just happened? We were up here. Now the market just, all these longs just got liquidated because price is here now. So that is not an edge. They've been taken care of now. Okay, so yesterday's high, yesterday's low, overnight high, overnight low. We're in the middle of yesterday. You're pretty much in a not a good trade location for anything. You're in a demand zone, but really the name of the game is if you come down here today, what do we do? Right? If you can make it over this price, you got monthly VO up and supply above. Now that was just large orders hitting the tape. Okay, large orders just hit the tape. Nvidia's down 0.6 now. What a difference. What a difference. We're in demand. We're about to probably break that demand zone, which is expected. I didn't expect it to hold. There we go. There we go. All right, market's not liking it now. This number. Let's see here. We can see bar by bar. Well, there you go. There's that big bar. This demand was just broken. Can remove that now. All right, so basically we're going to do our scenarios now. Okay, let this shake out. Now we're getting bought up a little bit. So we got the volatility here. But we're not really threatening a high, threatening highs or lows. So now I don't talk about this a lot, but we have a weak low here. Okay, I don't talk about value area high and lows that much, but here's the value area low of yesterday. Here's the value area high. That just means 70% of the trade took place in that area. Well, the overnight low is right here. Guess what's also there? The close. Okay, so that's a key level. 44.92.50 is a weak low. If price comes down here, I would think you get a quick push. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start with bearish first. Okay, we are in a bearish stance. Okay, so like one of the things I just said, we can come down here, break that weak low, and start to test yesterday's lows in the 50-day simple moving average, and then we could possibly go down to here to this demand zone. That's one. Two, come up to the most traded price of the week, can't get above it, roll over. Third, come up to this supply monthly VWAP, right? This would be like the top of that trend line that I showed you in the hourly chart. And then same thing. Okay. For myself, this scenario is more for my trading. This one I'm not really interested if it just falls down. I'm not interested in that. Okay. Let's go to the bullish scenario. Okay. A bullish scenario, okay, could be you come down, hit that 50, push through it, but then cover, start making lower highs, and then you see if you can traverse to here at least, right? And if you can do that, you're going to come back to the other side of the range. Another scenario, okay, that could happen is you could just push straight up here, hold this, and then go up. Third one, you come down here, you break yesterday's lows, make a quick down move to this demand zone. Now this would be a big move, right? And you start and you don't hold that long and you get bought up. Now you're above, back into range. That's a good one as well. Okay, this market is, I'm gonna say this, okay? I've seen this a bunch of times. I bet you any money we open somewhere in here. Back to balance. And then the market will decide. Because right now it's not doing anything. This is nothing. This is just going like this. Okay? Alright. That was your ES. Let's move on to the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ, what do we got? Let's open this up a little bit. Alright. Now NASDAQ's been weaker, right? Still in a downtrend as well. Okay? Still in a downtrend as well. But let's just look at our profile. Profile's different. It's not like the ES. You got double distribution. So you got a distribution here and a distribution here. Most traded price of the week is 154.20 is right here. If we stay down here, right? If we stay down here, this will move down and that will be bearish, the most traded price of the week. But look, if we can't move it down here, this price is going to go right back here. What a recovery now. See? You don't know what this market's going to do. You just don't. Nvidia is still weak, but other stocks are getting more positive again. So, and it just broke this supply zone as well. Let's just make sure, which I don't expect these to hold. Yeah, see this supply, that's broken. Let's get rid of that now. Now the market's moving higher. Okay, let's look at yesterday. Yesterday made a new low, right? Down here. Now, you got some juice for a fade in the NASDAQ. I don't know how much the ES has moved up. We could check it, but we have some juice. Because check out the inventory. Opened here. Only short activity. Now, all longs. So, this is an area, yesterday's highs, and a supply right here. Okay? 50-day simple moving average in the futures is right there. Again, guys, this is bearish. We're below the most traded price of the week. Now, like I said, if we dip below this level and we start holding here and this most traded price moves down and we start moving, well, get ready for possibly going down here. Okay, because we got a trend line right here. Let's move a trend line here, like right here. See? That's a trend line in this market. Okay? So we have not come up, we've tagged it and couldn't come above it, right? So so let's look at this, because the NASDAQ has a high here, overnight high here, close to here. So we have this, yesterday's high, yesterday's low. We're inside yesterday's session, okay? So I'm not really excited about where we're at unless we push up here. Okay, but there's two supply zones up here. 9 EMA daily, monthly VWAP. Okay, you got a lot of stuff to churn through up here. All right, so I mean, be honest with you, if we hold this trend line or we stay in here, and a lot of stocks have just gotten bought, right? It could be setting up again for, because the sellers have been stronger as of late. They're pushing, making higher, like making lower lows, making lower highs. So, all right, so let's get into this because I want to show you guys this, what I'm saying, right? Because you just have too many levels here. Okay, so if we do wind up pushing up into this double supply zone, 9 EMA daily, okay, most trader prices, this area in here, you got to churn through that. So if I see it, the market pop up in there, so here's the bear scenario. If we kind of breach that trend line, but then breach all this and we start to get this, lower highs, we're going to go back and test definitely the backside of the trend line and the most traded price of yesterday, which happens to also be the most traded price in the overnight. That won't be easy to get through, but if you do, you're testing here and then you go down to this demand zone. That's what I see clear as day for a setup, for a scenario. But it's really, look at this trend line, right? So it's in the 50-day simple moving average right here. So it's in a bear advantage right now area. Okay, it's really all I had to do for the bear. Now for the bull, you got a lot of work on your hands here. Now, the only way I'm interested is if we do move up, calm down, break yesterday's lows, and if we start holding, making lower highs, possibly could move back to at least here. And then here. I don't know how likely that big move would be. Okay, other one would be break these lows, go into this demand zone, and start making lower highs. And really, you have to keep your eye on the market, right? And then at least move back up to here, which probably might turn into the most traded price of the week. But see where it also lines up? Trend line. And if this market holds the 50-day simple moving average, it needs to break all the supply, the monthly VWAP, hold, do anything. So that long, for me, has to come in this area. Okay. Let's get rid of this trend line. I'll move you back to the hourly real quick. We'll just look at that really quickly together. See the nothing burger that's going on here. Wick to the bottom, wick to the top. Where are we, guys? Come on now. Most traded price. What did I say? That's why I have it on my chart. Okay? That just gives you this grand scope of things, of where we're at. This is bearish price structure. Okay? Lower lows, and lower highs. Doesn't mean we can't break out of it, but you see what I mean? You have to break this to do something. You have to break these highs to get some momentum here. This is the NASDAQ. Got a trend line as well. See how it's getting resistance at the trend line? I could have drew this too. You have that down there. Okay. But this is demand now. Okay, that's holding. 50 to simple move, right? But that trend line, right? That trend line. And you got supply here and here. So this market has to go higher. Here's that swing high. That needs to take out this swing high, the most traded price of the week. Okay, monthly VWAP's also there, and this two double supply zones here. That would convince me, hold to just, okay, we might move higher, but that's a lot to churn through. Okay, that's a lot to churn through. And again, keep an eye on Apple. 177.50 and 175. 177.50 is the first line of defense. We're above that. Okay, so Apple's got room again to move down lower. So do me a favor, like what you saw, subscribe, set an alert. That'd mean a lot. Also, give me a thumbs up if you like what you saw. Understand the plan we're looking at today. Okay, and of course you have my Twitter at Gonzo719. All right, so that's the plan for today. I'm going to go ahead and start game planning what's the stocks, because I don't believe this market's going to make a decision until the market opens. So I'm going to continue doing my levels. Certain levels that are out there. Just off the top of my head, coin 85. I told you about the 177.5 on Apple. 325 is an important level for Microsoft. Google's 129. Okay. Amazon's 138. What else here? Baba's 94. I haven't finished doing some other stocks, but those are some levels I'm looking at. So anyway, that's it for me, guys. Stay green today, and this market is basically going to make the decision when we open. So nothing burger. So hope everybody has a good day. Take it easy.